All right, let's get to it. Let's go out to Lexington, Kentucky, and talk to Kayla. Hey, Kayla, what's up?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Of course. Hey, you had to be on the phone for a long time, sit through all the ads, me talking about meeting corn this morning. So thank you for being patient.
Of course, that's
What's up?
fine. So I'll just get right to it. So my question is, how do I move on with my life without regret after cutting off contact with my mom?
I can tell you right now, you don't. Regret's going to be part of this journey. What happened? I know what a bum way to start like wah wah, like you don't. So ta-da. Tell me about it. What happened with your mom?
So I come from a long line of generational sexual trauma. I was sexually abused by my dad from the age of 5 till about 13, but I mean, the end game doesn't matter.
Whoa. Every step matters. It does. I'm sorry.
But thank you.
Hold on. I don't want to leave yet. As the dad of a daughter who I can't breathe if she's not okay, I need you to know I was wrong and I'm sorry. On behalf of dads everywhere, I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Your dad should have loved you as much as I love my little girl. I'm sorry.
And now I have a little girl who is the same age I was when all the trauma started. So it's all kind of getting...
Yep. I bet your body is lit up like a Christmas tree, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I've actually kind of started the prosecution process.
So you're going for it.
I'm going for it. Yeah. I've realized that I'm breaking the generational curse that has been set on my family. But yeah, so as everything has been coming out and talking, I've kind of realized that my mom has not taken the steps that I would take for my daughter now. And I just have had a lot of resentment towards her. She found out in 8th grade what was going on, and she stayed with him until I finally again was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. I was 21 and I was like, I got to start getting myself better, and I can't while he's in my life. And so they ended up divorcing. And now as an adult, I had asked her, like, what was going on? Like, please try and help me realize why you didn't leave him at the time. And she told me that, well, apparently I, as an 8th grader, told her that I didn't want to ruin spring break plans. So
I need you to hear. I need you to hear what I'm going to say very, very clearly. Okay, and hopefully a therapist has told you this, but often I find that doesn't happen. Powerful, life-altering, nervous system-changing trauma happens when one of your parents sexually abuses you. And earth-shattering, nervous system transforming trauma happens when you get the courage to tell another adult and they do nothing.
Yeah.
I put your mom's violence up right beneath your dad's. What your dad did is evil and wrong and it's disgusting, right? There's a grotesqueness to it because it's so vulgar.
Right.
What your mom did was evil. Because there's a little girl coming to mom and saying, will you protect me? And she said, nope. I'm sticking with the monster.
Yeah.
And then all these years later, when you get the courage to go, Mom, what happened? She blames you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming out of my skin right now and I'm trying to be cool. But I hate this happened to you. So actually, I'm going to change what I said earlier. You're not going to regret this forever. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. That's what I get for talking too fast. I screwed that up.
And I think I'm just battling with, so she's been obviously in my daughter's life until just last October.
Okay.
And so now I'm just kind of struggling with how do I juggle? And thankfully, like, my daughter has not asked about her. She just kind of is going on, but I can tell she can feel the hostile tension that I'm going through right now. So I'm just trying to be the best wife and mom that I can without letting the trauma completely take over.
So here's a couple of really important things, okay? I want to get this out of the way. With all 100% certainty, you need to have a professional walk with you through this, okay?
Okay.
All right. And I want you to go to look in your local area for a trauma-informed therapist, okay?
Okay.
And that's a special training that people go through. Sometimes it's an entire program that they go through, but it's a way of looking at responses that makes sense. It's really where, that was a lot of my training was there. And that's why I tell people, no, you're not broken. Your body's working great considering what happened to you. Okay. So that's number one. I want to put that off to the side for a second. Okay. How old's your daughter?
She's 5.
Okay. Your gut instinct is going to be to shield and protect her.
Yes.
And what she is going to do is she's going to absorb the tension that you are feeling walking through hell, right? You're walking through it with a sword this time, but it's still going to be back through hell, right? You're going to have to go through old memories. You're going to get deposed. You're going to have your dad's lawyer, if he just decides to be even a further pathetic coward, decides to get one and try to fight you and call you a liar.
Right.
You're going to have to go through all those old stories and have people question your integrity and go through old high school boyfriend. You're going to have to go through all that. The problem is if you're not, you're going to be walking a fine line. I'll talk you through it here, but you're going to have to let your daughter know that the tension you are experiencing has zero to do with her. Otherwise, she's going to do what you did, which is feel that tension in the home, make it your problem to solve.
Right.
And so that regret that you feel is you have been protecting your mom your whole life. You've been making sure your mom is okay or doesn't get mad or doesn't find out your whole life. Because when your mom says, no, I'm good, I'm gonna stay with him, that little girl doesn't immediately go, my mom is evil. It goes, oh, what did I do? How do I fix this?
Right.
Right? And that was never your job to fix. But what we don't want to do, that's how trauma gets transferred. Either the act goes with it, right? You abuse somebody, which you're never going to do, or that inner chaos, that inner turmoil that you are fighting and scratching and clawing every second of every day to give your daughter something you didn't have. But that angst and tension she absorbs. And so it's letting her know, mommy is really scared today. She has to go do some hard, scary things. What, Mom? Well, I have to have some scary conversations with some big grown-ups that were mean to me when I was little. What happened? Well, that's grown-up stuff. But I want you to know that every day I wake up, I'm so grateful that God let me be your mommy. You see what I'm saying? And what we're doing is we're going to normalize. Sometimes your body feels, especially when you're doing scary, hard stuff, your body reacts a certain way. That's normal. That does not impact my love for you. And so it's going to be weird for you talking through it because nobody's ever modeled that for you. Ever.
Right.
Right. And you don't want to go too far and be like, your grandfather. Like, she's not ready for that because she's 5. There will become there will become time when you tell your story to your daughter. It's just not now. And so tell me about your mom. Now, is she fighting you? Does she want to see her? Is she giving you grief about babies? Like, how is all that working out?
No, I think she's just kind of, I talked to my brother a few days ago, and he saw her over New Year's, and I guess she told him that, well, she thought it was going to be a little bit hard at first, but it's not as hard as she thought, having me cut her off. So that was kind of, I guess, the cherry on the cake for me. Is
such a coward.
I don't know.
What an absolute coward.
It's just...
And I don't mean to talk bad about your mom, but I sure mean to talk bad about your mom.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's just kind of a smack in the face because it's like, okay, I understand And it all kind of came to a head when so she's remarried now, and one of my stepsisters was actually dating a pedophile. And we all went to the wedding, and come to find out, I didn't know any of this. So she kind of, I guess, just let me bring my daughter around a pedophile, and everybody knew except me. And come to find out, they were all like, oh no, we can't tell her. We can't tell her what's going on. But yeah, there's just been so many different layers. And so with that, finding out that she knew that there was a pedophile present who was on the sex offenders list and didn't feel the need to tell me so I could take the actions into my own hands, whether that be not going to the wedding or something. And so that's when I kind of was like, okay, I've known my whole life that I wasn't going to be protected by anybody. And now that I'm an adult, I can protect myself. And now it's my job to protect my daughter. And so,
good dude, that you have turned it. This is what that looks like. I need you to hear me, Kayla. You have changed everything. This is what that looks like. As the great Terrence Real, he says it.
It's just hard.
Oh, it's brutal. Here's what he says, and I love this quote. And I'm going to butcher it a little bit, but family trauma rolls down a hill like a forest fire until one brave soul stops and turns and stares it down and gives peace to future ancestors they may never know. What gets left out of that famous quote is, and again, I messed it up, but that sentiment is a person who stops and stares down a forest fire gets burned badly. And that's you. You have to deal with the pain of your mom going, yeah, I don't care. He was sleeping with my husband when she was young. Good for her. Right? You got to deal with a mom that didn't even step between you and a monster. She chose a monster. You gotta, all of it. I could just go through. I'm not going to torture you with that. And so then you have the brother going, well, I don't know, man. Or the sister being like, well, come on. This is what staring down a forest fire looks like. So I think the pain you are feeling is grief. And I don't know that you've ever been allowed to sit in grief because you've been too busy trying to keep yourself safe.
Right.
Is your husband a good man?
Yes, he is. He's the one that introduced me to your show. Yeah,
he's amazing then. He must be the best guy ever. When you're safe, you can grieve. And here's why that's going to be hard for you. Grief would get you hurt in the past. You didn't have time for grief. You were too busy trying to protect yourself from the two freaking people who are supposed to love you the most. And so this pain you feel isn't regret. It might feel bad, if you will. But just because it hurts doesn't mean it's not the exact right thing. And I'm pretty slow on the just cut people up. I'm telling you right now, I don't see a path forward where I would ever talk to that woman again.
Yeah.
And what that means is you got to live in a world where your mom's not going to be there for you because she opted out. Hear me very clearly. You did not sever this relationship. She did. She left you. So if someone's in your home and they smash up your house and they run out at the front door and get in their car and leave, just because you closed the door doesn't mean you kicked them out.
Right.
All you're doing here is closing the door. Your mom's burned your house to the ground enough. She got in her car with a monster and took off. So what it looks like now moving forward is just a season of hellacious grief. It's going to suck.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I need you to promise me you're going to get with a trauma counselor who will walk with you. I'm going to send you my book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. It's about this very thing. Not sexual abuse as much as when everything falls apart. I had this picture of what my life was going to look like and this scary, scary question. What am I going to do now? And dude, you're already there. You're sitting with police officers. You're going to make sure this man cannot hurt any more people moving forward and is held accountable for what he did in the past. You're on your way. But we often see the bravery story and the strength story, and we don't realize how lonely that is or how scary that is or how much that hurts. And that's a part of this journey too. I want you to also pick up a book called Finding Meaning by David Kessler. It's the best book on grief I've ever read. It's a masterpiece. But it will walk you through some steps. And I've talked about all the time, writing yourself letters, making sure you have a daily journaling practice, making sure you've got somebody that you can call in the middle of the night. As this stuff starts to resurface, it's going to be gnarly. And as your daughter continues to enter into ages when this stuff happened to you, your body has put a GPS pin in that. And it's going to go, young girl, look out, look out. It's just going to start radiating. And people are going to come over, well-meaning people, kind people, and your body's going to just be alarm central. It's okay. You're not broken. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with you. But we do need to do the work to learn a new way to respond to some of those things. That's just part of where you're at. But I don't think you're going to feel regret. What you're doing is right. You didn't kick anybody out. They burned your house down and then walked out. And with the remaining door frame, you just close the door. I'm proud of you, Caleb. I'm proud of you. Hang on, and we'll get you hooked up.